Hey guys, welcome to Picksburgh, and you are joining us for the best morning show on YouTube. My name is Anthony. With me, as always, I have my co-host Nate. Every day I'm hustling, and with us today we have a very special guest. We have Buffalo Picker. Guys don't know about him. You're going to get to learn about him today. Really awesome news. Me and Nate are going to be on his show tomorrow, so you have an opportunity to see him 2 days in a row. And sorry about that. My dog literally just jumped into my bag of order. We're still doing construction. But I do want to say what's up to a few people that are here in chat. Nate, can you put down Cajun Reseller for the Broski Point today?
You got it.
Then we got Ray in the house. $1. Good to see you. Simply Dana, good morning. We have Cody Fontaine. Appreciate you being here. Paul Gate City Picker. Great to see you, man. Got KJ rocking them Steeler hearts.
You know it.
Yep, we got ourselves a fellow Steeler fan with us this morning, KJ. That's why we got the Heinz Field background kicking today. Got Uncle B in the house. What's going on, man?
What? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, Uncle B.
Was he not feeling good?
Yeah, he was sick yesterday, man. He was
man.
rough last night, so hope he feels better, man.
Good morning, Craig, Land Shark Picker. Great to see you, man.
Land Shark, triple OG.
Got Chris in there throwing out them Saints hearts. Nikki T, good morning to you. Great to see you. Want to say congratulations to Rev Resell for hitting 1,000 subscribers last night.
There you go, man.
In chat today, make sure you give him a congratulations. Well deserved.
That's definitely awesome.
Yeah,
very happy for him.
Let's see who else is here. Speaking of Rev's in the house. Good to see you, Mr. 1K. Michelle Nathan, good morning. Jacob Fufu's in the house. Good to see you, man.
Land Shark did a good interview last night with Reverend Michelle. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yep, I was listening to that. Got Shane M in the house. Good to see you, Shane. Veronica, good morning. Cleopatra, good morning to you. Appreciate you being here. I don't know why you're gray, but I'm going to make you blue. There you go. Sorry, guys. My animals are like running wild down here now that we're doing construction on the house this week, so I have to keep them in the basement with me while they're working upstairs, and it has been challenging to say the least. Dan M's in the house. What's going on, man? I don't know if you guys saw the meme that I posted in the group last night, but Dan sent a who wore it better, me or Dr. Evil at Mr. Bigglesworth yesterday. Alex in the house, Fat Man and Flipper. Appreciate you being here, Alex. Moronic Pest, what's up, man? Good to see you, Ed. Got COs to Sales in here. What's going on? Great to see you. You're funny, Lisa. Get your butthole out of the screen. Got the Goomba in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you, Michael. 9-pound hammer. What up, Delden? Good to see you, man. Frank's in the house. What's going on, dude? I think I got everybody. If I missed you, you can feel free to yell at me or tag me or do whatever you want to do. Okay. I appreciate it.
Man, that's a hard task, man, to get everybody.
Yeah,
that thing be going so fast, man. It's like, you try.
Yeah, try to make sure everybody feels a part of the show.
Right.
That's my thing. Like, man, praise God for the bigger channels, but like, I like being able to, interact with everybody. You know what I mean? Have get to know everybody, have a relationship with people.
Right.
Well, Delton's getting pretty close too. Delton's only 96 away from 1K. You guys aren't sub to the 9-pound hammer. You can feel free to drop your link, man. Hey, Lauren. Good morning to you. Deep end of the sandbox. Appreciate you being here.
Seen D and No Money G in the house.
Oh, I didn't even see No Money G. What's up, man? Yeah, so for anybody in here that may not know you, and I'm sure most people do, but do you want to just give everybody a quick rundown of like who you are, what your channel's about, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I go by my handler name is Buffalo Picker. My name is Tommy, and that's Tommie. For some reason, my mom decided not to put the Y. But I am a part-time reseller. I've been reselling on eBay and Amazon for a little over 2.5 years. I'm also a full-time federal employee, and I am a retired military of 21 years.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. I definitely would have stayed a little bit longer, but I didn't want to go back to Iraq anymore. I had been to Iraq on I had been on 7 tours between 2001 and 2005. Wow. And that would have been my 8th tour to go over. And, they was dingling this promotion in front of me that, hey, all you got to do is deploy and, you're going to get your next promotion. I just felt it wasn't worth it. Being that I had went to the war zone 7 times and came back safe.
Yeah.
So decided to go ahead and retire and then end up working with the federal government. So I can thank the military for training me, giving me the skills that I needed to land a federal job. So I pretty much do in the federal government what I used to do in the military. So it paired up. For as my YouTube channel, I decided to go and start YouTube in January. And I tell you, once I met Landshark Picker, my subscribers just went off the roof. And my whole deal with starting the YouTube was to basically, I felt like I had some value to offer to people. I had been in the shadows for 2 years, doing resale and, thinking that, I had to keep all of this information to myself in order to be successful. But, I quickly learned that, hey, in order to grow, I need to share, the information that I have. And that what led me to, that and plus She Sells by Sue.
Mm-hmm. She
pretty much put the icing on the cake. I ran into her one day at Walmart. We were both outsourcing. And she was like, Tommy, all you need to do is turn the camera on. She was like, just turn it on. And I was like, I contemplated it for about 3 weeks. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a try. Go do my introduction, see how that goes, let a couple of people look at it, get some feedback. And then from there, I was like, you know what? I do presentations all the time, at my regular job because I'm a security specialist. And basically what I do is I do security classes for all the personnel that, work for the federal government. And I was like, so I do presentations all the time. So just get in front of the camera and talk, so, and my main thing is when I started the channel is try to be transparent, with the information that I give and be open and honest about it. So, from there, I just, kicked off the YouTube thing. And like I said, I ran into Landshark Picker. I was actually doing a show with Glass City Pickers one night, and Landshark came in and, he hit me up after the show. He was like, hey, I really like what you're doing. He was like, so, I'm going to get back with you and, try to get you to do an interview because I want to start a show where I bring the old resellers, into with the new resellers. And he's like, I really like the information that you're putting out and stuff. So, one thing led to another, and it just like, it was a ripple effect. And like I said, my subscribers went from, I think at the time I met Landshark, I probably had about 670 or 80 subscribers, and now I'm around 3,500 somewhere around there.
Awesome, man.
Definitely.
That's what it takes. You just need to get to know the land shark picker, and then
yeah.
Hey, Craig, hit me up after the show. No, the funny thing is that the show that we're on, actually, Craig kind of initially set it into motion. Way back when, like over a year ago, he started a show called the Mid-Morning Break Room.
Right.
And it was a morning show at 10 a.m. And, that show ran for a while. And then after that show kind of ended, me and Tommy started another show. And then once that show ended, this show kind of took over. So essentially, it was like kind of Craig that kind of catapulted the show to even happen in a way.
Right. Yeah, so, I think I found you all show from one of the posts that he posted on Instagram about you all was doing a auction.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was basically the first show that I caught, and then from there on, I'll just start popping in. Sometime I would stay in the shadow, sometime I would say something.
Yeah, I know that goes. Sometimes if I'm busy, sometimes I'll just pop in and just watch and work.
Right.
So that makes sense. But yeah, good looking out, Craig. I appreciate you sharing it out, man. Craig's a real good networker. He really is.
Right.
For that.
That's what I try to do sometimes. I'll try to look for channels that are just not in our circle or known maybe as much. Maybe they're in a different circle, and try to watch them and try to bring them into our circle of people that watch us and stuff like that, because I like meeting new people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not only that, you have another group of people that we don't have any reach with. You know what I mean? So it's just about all getting together, trying to get all of the reselling groups together, and adding to the community. And so that's awesome that he brought you in and basically to meet us and everything like that, so we can all enjoy each other and help each other out.
Yeah, and I think the awesome thing is that you're a Steeler fan.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the top pluses to my man right here.
Yeah, I've been a Steeler fan since I was in the second grade, and people always say, how you're still a fan and you born and raised in Georgia. I'm like, it's first team I saw, and I just fell in love with the colors and the players, and it was like I became a Steeler fan in the second grade. By the third grade, I knew the whole team.
That's awesome.
People be like, you ain't no Steeler fan, name 10 players on the team, and I would go down the line, so
yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was such a nerd with the Steelers when I was a kid. You know how you'd go to bed and you'd talk about counting sheep? When I was a kid, I used to count numbers. I'd be like, all right, number 1. I'd name every Steeler I could think of with the number 1. Number 2, I'd name every Steeler. I was such a nerd with it. It was crazy. I was that obsessed with the Steelers.
But you were a ball boy too, so I mean that also.
For 4 years,
it was awesome.
Ball boy.
For how long?
Up close.
4 years.
With the Steelers.
Wow.
Yeah, from 2000 to 2003. So literally, they got Big Ben the year after I stopped working for them.
Oh man,
I know. I just missed out. But I was there
Instead,
for.
you had the good old.
He was the year before.
And you were there for the good old Tommy Maddox, Tommy gun.
I was, and Cordell Stewart. Yep. Absolutely, dude. He was the man before he got crushed in that Tennessee game.
Who? Tommy Maddox?
Yeah,
he was doing pretty good.
Lighting it up.
Yeah. He was a good game manager until that game right there. It was like oh, they don't shook him.
I mean, it was almost like the same thing happened with Brady. Drew Bledsoe got hurt, and then next here comes Tom Brady. So same thing happened to us. Yeah. We got Big Ben early in his career, and he came in guns a-blazing for the most part. I mean, he wasn't putting up super great numbers, but we had amazing defense and amazing run game. And, I mean, he went we went 15-1 that first year or something like that. So that was amazing for a rookie quarterback to do that.
Yeah, he made the plays that, when they asked him to make a play, he made the plays. And the defense, and like you said, we had a strong defense at the time.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely one of the better Steeler defenses to roll through. So, I mean, that was a good combination for all that to happen, and that's why we got a couple rings on our fingers because of that.
Right,
so,
right.
So I know you do a little bit of Amazon stuff too. How much of your business is eBay? How much is it Amazon roughly?
I mean, if I had to put it on a scale, it's probably 80-20. I'm 80% Amazon, 20% eBay. I mean, my bread and butter is Amazon, man. It's like I started out with eBay, and I ran eBay for about 4 months before I jumped on to Amazon. And when I jumped on to Amazon, it's like I literally neglected my eBay store for probably 6 months. And it was dying. I had to go and give it some CPR to bring it back. But because eBay, they will put you in check if you don't keep your ratings up. So but yeah, 80% is Amazon. I just fell in love with the return that you get on your investment, and the amount of volume that you can move at one time on that platform. I remember sharing a liquidation sale that I shipped to Amazon, and that was just crazy money for what I paid for the items. So it's like, to me, because of the capital that I can gain from Amazon is the reason why I focus so much on Amazon. But like I said, I am bringing my eBay store back. The more I have been into this circle, I learned that majority of the people sell on eBay more so than they do on Amazon. And I'm learning a lot from these resellers about, the techniques and procedures that they use to get their eBay store where it is. So I'm picking these little things up to kind of take those ideas and implement those into my eBay store, so that, I can get my eBay store up to par, because both of the platforms you can make money. It's all about, how you apply yourself to that particular platform. But for me, if I can go out and buy 800 items and mass ship it to Amazon and let Amazon deal with the customer, I'm cool with it,
Definitely.
So that's one of the things is I don't really per se like customer service. So my thing is, for me to pay those fees that Amazon is requesting and they deal with the customer, it's great. Now I can tell you here lately, since we've been in this this situation, I'm not going to call the name, but this situation, I had to change focus and go to FBM more so than FBA. And now I just open myself back up to dealing with the customers, because I have had some customers hit me up like, where is my package? And can you give me a discount? Like,
I've dealt with a lot of that.
I expect that on eBay, not Amazon. But yeah, when you deal in FBM, which is my first venture with FBM since this situation, they got some customers that they want the hook up too. They want the basically the freebie. So but I hands down, I'm an Amazon guy.
Yeah, during the pandemic, Amazon has just been phenomenal. Like, I mean, I know it's been great for a long time, but for me, like, when a lot of stuff as far as sourcing for eBay started to dry up, I just shifted my focus like almost completely to Amazon. Like, luckily I had such a huge like death pile of stuff that I'm still continuing to list for eBay, and that hasn't been a problem. But as far as like the opportunity to just strike it big this time, really Amazon has just been it. you know, and like you said, FBM, like me and Nate got like real big into FBM there for, you know, several weeks. And
right.
Man, like I was surprised because I was hitting numbers like I'm used to hitting on Amazon in a month in like a day or a weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? It just like blew my mind. And, you know, I'd go drop, you know, several $100s, and then literally before I even get home, everything sold.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
Yep. It's just, you know, I was having a conversation with Glass City Pickers, and basically was saying the same thing, is that, you know, we are making like right now making Q4 money, you know, with Amazon based on what we are shipping. And, I mean, it's some work, but you know, it's some gratification as well when you see those numbers popping up, you know. So, yeah.
Every time, like I sold $2,500 in one day, and I packed literally for 15 hours because
I was nuts.
it wasn't just a poly mailer type situation. It had to be boxed. It had to be, you know, filler, because it was a heavy item. So I had to make sure I put care into how I was shipping, make sure I really take that sucker down and everything else. So every time I was packing each one, my cost was $6. I was making $20, $25 depending on shipping, where it was going every time I packed the box. So just like you said, you got that gratification. I just got mine Sunday when I seen that huge number drop in my bank account. And man, like it came at a great time because I just had my vehicle just basically you know, die on me. So I mean, it still runs, but I need a vehicle because I need to get an engine replaced. So you know, like without that, like I would literally, my business would be like shot, you know, dead in the water, like literally, because I wouldn't be able to do anything lately with that. But I mean, like you, I'm 80% Amazon, 20% eBay, or maybe a little bit more recently with eBay, because I'm doing more merch fulfilled than FBA. But with you doing a full-time job just like me, FBA is amazing for the fact that, like you said, you're able to ship so much bulk inventory in. You don't have to deal with it really at all. I use a repricer, so I set my parameters for what I want to make on the item. So this way, you know, if my goal is 100% ROI, which, you know, if I spend 5, I make 5. That item is going to sell between those dimensions. So it allows me to still do other things, and it allows me to scale my business. And not only that, still do eBay, because I mean, honestly, if I had to do merch fulfill all day, every day of the week, you know, for all my products, man, like especially right now with everything being so hot, FBM, there's no way eBay would even have a chance for me because of those restrictions. So it's just very awesome to see that no matter what, even with doing, you know, having a job, that you can scale a business to where, you know, you can buy wholesale, you can go to buy bulk from different discount retailers and send it in, and still do the eBay, still do this, still have some family time, still be able to do YouTube. I just wish that with the YouTube, you know, you can show more. You know what I mean? You can't show as much as you can on eBay, and I think that's why a lot of, you know, you see a lot of people do, you know, show that, you know, do content, do eBay, because you can't show as much as you want on Amazon. I'm going to try to start showing more. I have some stuff recorded of me actually going out shopping, you know, scanning, doing this and that, me buying items. And then after it sells, I'm actually going to put out the video for that type of stuff. So, you know, like that's what, you know, I mean, I love Amazon, man. Like, like you said, like the amount of stuff that goes out, and it's amazing, and the velocity of it is amazing. What was your first, or maybe this is a bad question to ask, but if you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but what was the first big buy that you've seen move on Amazon, like that really went out really quick and it was big amount of number for you?
I mean, the most recent one, I mean, it's been so many, man, but the most recent one was I went to a liquidation auction, and I bought a big pallet of gluten-free vitamin C suckers for, you know, kids, basically for candy for kids. and I sent in, I think it was 850 packs that I purchased for $400. And I sent it in to Amazon in the first week in January. It got to Amazon and listed. And 2 weeks later, that's when they started talking about, you know, the situation. And man, all the stuff sold out in about a week. Like every pack sold out in a week.
Wow.
And like I said, I paid $400 for the whole pallet, and I was selling it on Amazon for $9 and maybe 50 or 75 cents. And it also is like soon as that blurb hit the internet about vitamin C and, you know, the vitamins that you need to protect you, all that can just flew off the shelf. And it's, the thing was, only 2 people had it, Amazon and myself. And the thing is, I was skeptical about buying it because, you know, the Amazon expiration, the 6-month deal and all that. It was like in October, I was going to, you know, be up against the wall with it anyway for the expiration. And I mean, it just so happened, man, that, you know, the world situation happened and that stuff sold out in a week, like 850 packs for $9 and something. So, I mean, you can do the math and see how much money I made off of that.
Oh yeah, that was good money. Because I mean, you know, I'm guessing those are very small, so the shipping on and for FBA would have been minimal compared to the cost.
I think the fees was on each pack. The fee was like maybe $2.25, somewhere right there, $2.15. But yeah, man, I got over big time on that one.
I mean, just guys, sit back and think for a second. 800 things in a week.
Yeah.
I mean, think how much packing that he would have to do and everything else. But sending an FBA,
right?
Him being hands-free. If it doesn't get to the customer, you're covered. If it gets damaged in shipping, you're covered. Like, you have protections with FBA, and that's part of the reason why I love it too. Like, you're hands off, but you're hands on in a way. You know, it's almost like you're you know, you're the owner of your business. You have someone else doing your stuff for you, and that's you pay a little bit more fee for that. But how much would an employee cost to do that type of stuff for you? Yeah, and I think that's what like a lot of people don't look at sometimes when you know,
most people just eBay, you know, when it comes to like people that really don't like to sell on Amazon, you know, they're looking at what's in their face, you know, and they're not looking at the big picture. And like you mentioned, you know, you got to think about if everything that Amazon do for you as a seller, if you had people doing that you had to physically hire, you got to pay them a wage, you know, but you paying this percentage to Amazon and they moving 2 tons of products for you a month. I mean, you still getting over, you know, really, that's how I see it. When I do the numbers and I look at, you know, what they charge me for the amount of money that I made and the amount of product that I shipped to them, and I'll just break that down into math. I'm looking at, I mean, I may be hitting minimum wage with the salary that I'm paying Amazon in fees to move my product, you know. So it's no complaint from me.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Definitely.
And like you said, Nate, I'm sorry, go ahead, Picksburgh.
Oh, no, I was just going to say there's a few questions that came in for you.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to finish the thought, you could before.
Yeah, I was going to say when Nate was saying about, you know, you can't show as much on Amazon as you do on eBay. I agree with that wholeheartedly because some things you do have to keep to your chest, you know, especially if you don't have a whole lot of competition out there with it. Yeah, but for me, it's like, when I go, most of my videos I try to make when I hit the clearance, because the thing is, I'm a firm believer is if I don't get it there first, I'm gonna hold on to it and get it there last. Because you know, so if I make a video and I find these good sales on item, I'm gonna put it out there. You know, if you go get it, you go get it. If you can ship it to Amazon before me, you know, bravo. But if I go and look at the numbers and I see that it's 15 FBA sellers and this item is, already at Amazon, I got enough storage where I can hold that and let everybody sell out, and then I fall in with the price I want. So I don't mind, showing if most, like I said, most of my videos that I have shown is me going out to either, well, estate sale, that's different because that's eBay, but going out to the clearance to do RA, I don't mind showing that stuff because, like I said, if I'm not the first one in, because normally when I show the video, it's normally 2 days after I left the store. And if you can go out there and get it and beat me to getting it to Amazon, more power to you. But if I go check the numbers, because I always check the numbers before I ship anyway. And if it's a lot sitting there, I'm just going to take it and put it into a space and hold it. And then, later on ship it to Amazon, because for one, it ain't costing me nothing to hold it, because the places that I'm holding it, those locations are already paid for. So that's my little take on, putting the information out there. But like you said, it's certain things that you do find that like if you got a $25 item that you ain't got a whole lot of competition. I mean, you kind of, cutting your hand off if you do put that out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that item, for example, I was the only seller on it. When I got to the listing, there was nobody on it, and I was the only person on it. And then someone else came on, but they still had a little bit of inventory. They sold out.
Right.
I sat in the back because I knew I would sell 75 or so a day with no problem. Because it was if you ever see an item that is nobody on the listing and you see it's super low ranking, that is just like one of those opportunities you just got like this.
Yeah.
And you just know that you just scored like the mega load, and it's just gonna fly out the door.
Right.
So that was definitely
one thing I can say about Amazon though, man, is you're not gonna be out there on that island long by yourself. So you better take advantage of it, because it ain't gonna be long before somebody come along and say or do one of those scrubs, and they find out, oh, this item right here is this the ranking, that's one person selling it, boom, they're gonna go try to find it. Now that's the key. If you got inventory that it's hard to find and you the only one can find it, now you really got something, But you said, you was the only one selling it, and then somebody came along, they only had a few items. That's probably because in their area they could only find a few,
Right.
So
I was cleaning up, man. I went to 5 different stores and just filling my car up with all that. It was amazing.
Right.
It was amazing.
So a few questions for you here. The first one was from Sam. He said, do you have any thoughts or tips on making Amazon FBM work if you have limited space to store stuff?
Yeah, if you if you don't have the space, then FBM is no different from you being a seller on eBay. You got to have the space. If you don't have the space, then you limited on what you can buy. So I would, if I'm answering the question, if I heard the question correctly, then yes, you got to have the space in order to make FBM work for you. I mean, and I compare FBM to being an eBay seller, because you pretty much doing it all. You prepping, shipping, taking care of customer service. If you got a return, it's on you. So. But yeah, if you're gonna go out and jump into FBM, you definitely have to have the space. I have the space. I'm blessed to have the space.
Yeah, I would say the only other way around it is if you get something that's going to insta sell. So by the time you're leaving the store, by the time you get home, you're just packing it and shipping it back out.
Right.
That'd probably be the only other way that it would be probably doable in a smaller environment.
Yeah. Now, one thing I don't recommend that you can try if you're a new seller. Now, let me put the disclaimer out here. I don't recommend it, but you can try it. Just say for instance, if you find a good item and you list it, as soon as you make the purchase out of the store and you list it, just say you got enough space in your house for 50 and you see it's a good deal for 100. go ahead and make that 100. List that item, as you leave the store or you're in the parking lot. List that item. See what kind of hits you can get. And if that stuff is moving, then you got a good deal. Go ahead, like Pick said, once you get home, go ahead and start shipping it out. But if it's not moving and you sit and it's 5 days later and you still sitting on it, then keep in mind you still have your receipt and you can take it back to the store and get your money back. Now, for me, I don't do that. I don't recommend that, but that is an option.
Right. Yeah, unless it's a hot selling item, like you can, if I was in a small place, I would just line up a hallway with stuff if it was going to move out fast enough. You know what I mean? Like, because if it's going to move fast. You're going to sell big chunks fast. Right. So if it's not moving, I mean, you definitely need the space to be able to do it.
Absolutely. So Casey was asking, what kind of capital can you expect from Amazon? He needs some inspiration.
What was it? I think it was my last video? It was either my last video or the video before. And I know I had a couple of people ask me this because they didn't know. They saw the graphic. But if you can go to I think it was my last video or the video before that one, the FBM video, I put a graphic on the thumbnail. That is actually my money that I made in that 30-day mark. It was I think it was $16,000 or $17,000 in sales.
Awesome, man.
So and that's to me, that's almost close to my Q4 money. My Q4 money, I was hitting like over 25,000 in sales like every 2 weeks during Q4. I don't, I pay my taxes, so I don't mind putting that out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think mine, my best month was that 20,000. It was this month. And I think my return on investment was like 300% or more.
Right.
I haven't really crunched the numbers, but it was close to that last time I looked. But that's overall for all the products. But on that one that I hit, that was 6 into 20, say 20, we'll say 20. So that's like 325% right there. So I mean, you don't get that all the time, but when you do, it's amazing. Most of the time you're going to be looking at probably like my average return on investment on Amazon is usually 150%. So if I spend $1, I make $1.50. You know what I mean? If I spend $5, I make what is that, $7.50. So it just that give you an idea of what profits are like. It's more volume, so that's the main thing. Like you're not going to make the same amount of money on an item that you would go say at go at the thrift and you buy something for $5 and make $60. Or like I sold a Michael Jordan first edition Sports Illustrated today for $89.99 that I got the thrift at a garage sale for literally probably 50 cents. So I mean, you're not going to find items like that, but it's just scalability and it's the bigger picture of how big you could scale your business and what makes Amazon so amazing.
Right. I mean, I tell people it's on Amazon, the sky is the limit for scaling your business up if you got the capital and you can find the product. On the low end for me, if I'm getting $3,000 every 2 weeks, that's the low end for me. And I have been down there. I mean, when you start, you gotta crawl before you walk. And when I first jumped on Amazon, I had so much products in storage that I was fortunate enough to be approved by Amazon and one ASIN that I had, I don't know, 200. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this game. I'm pretty sure y'all have Mega Construct. Yeah. So I had over 200 pieces of that particular game that I bought. I mean, that particular product that I purchased from Toys R Us when they was going out of business. And I took, once I decided to go to Amazon, I ended up scanning a couple of those, and I seen that I was ungated to sell it on Amazon. So I ended up shipping like over I think it was 200 or 200 plus to Amazon. And my third payment from Amazon was around $3,000. And when I got that $3,000 in 2 weeks, I was like, oh, okay, this is where I need to be right here.
Exactly.
And I mean, I made money on eBay before that, but it wasn't nowhere close to that kind of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So Tommy was asking, he said, so since we've been doing a lot of FBM lately, has that made you reconsider doing more after things go back to normal?
Sure.
Before the pandemic, I'd never done FBM at all. So I think what I'm going to do is most of the stuff I'm going to go back to doing FBA where I send it in, but then some items that I can cross post like to eBay, Mercari or whatever, like video games or, random things like that I'm ungated on, I'll probably continue to do FBM on that kind of stuff just so I can have a little more eyes and stuff on it. And I've done well with some like Nintendo branded games because I ended up putting most of my single games that I wasn't gated as far as using on Amazon FBM, and most of them sold out like very fast on there. So I would suggest if anybody has an Amazon account, even if you're not like doing it like serious numbers or something like that, at least use it for cross posting because you don't even have to take pictures or anything. You literally just either scan the barcode or look up the game or whatever, and it sells really fast. So
yeah, definitely.
I'll probably continue doing that. I don't know like what scale, but at least on some scale, I'll continue doing it. But I think for the most part, a lot of the things I sell are going to be going back FBA.
Right,
definitely. Yeah, FBA is king, especially once everything goes out, because usually you get more money for FBA because of shipping speed. Not only that, your fees are usually even with the fee being what it is, it's usually cheaper going that route versus you packing it, you shipping it, and then you paying a little bit of fee on top because Amazon gets prime like top dollar, cheap shipping rates. So, you combine that with what you would do it because you can compare it and see what both of them are. And, also you have customer service and you also get that protection as well with FBA. So you get a lot more with FBA versus you doing on your own. Like Buffalo Picker was saying earlier, with FBM, you're doing customer service, you're shipping, you have to deal with all the customers trying to get the free products saying they didn't get it, all that type of stuff. So,
right.
Yeah, definitely once things go back to normal, I mean, it's starting to already. I've gotten stuff from Amazon in a couple days, so they're definitely catching up. I'm definitely going to start shipping FBA back again, and that's part of the reason why I took Friday off too. So this, get everything ramped up fully back in FBA.
Right.
Maybe
So
I'll
that's what makes
get a little motivation.
That's the reason why FBA is so attractive. You usually get more money on the item, you get the buy box easier, and you don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? Like you literally just send that in once. You pay that shipping, which is depending on what you're shipping and what size. As a whole, you might have $100 going on shipping, but you also shipped out 5 or 10 large Walmart boxes because most of my stuff goes up the road like 2 hours, so it's not very expensive for the bulk that I'm shipping up there. And then once it's up there, I don't have to worry about it anymore. That's Amazon's like they lost a box of 69 items that I have, and I have my receipts, and they're going to pay me for it. And that's insta sales that I don't even have to worry about. So
Right.
yeah, FBA is definitely the king, especially after the pandemic and everything's squared away.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I basically what I've been doing during this situation is I've been still business as usual with what I do when I go out because I'm predominantly a toy seller on Amazon, and so I am still purchasing items at discounted prices to store to be able to ship to Amazon for FBA. But I have found some items. I think this situation opened my eyes up about FBM because I never really looked at FBM because I just didn't want to deal with customers. But it has opened my eyes up to where I have found some items that doesn't require a whole lot of prepping to ship to the customer. So those items, I think I would still try to pursue those. I have, you know, I really haven't had any returns or complaints about the items. And like I said, it doesn't take, you know, nothing more than taking it and putting it in a box to prepare it to ship. So those items right there, I may continue to sell as FBM, but on the grand scheme of things, I'm definitely gonna be, you know, back on the FBA side for sure.
Yeah, more or less, it's for me, it would be competition. Like if there's not very much competition, or if there's all FBM sellers, then maybe I'll just flop myself right in front of the line. But for the most part, it's going to be FBA again.
Right,
FBA is king.
There's a question here from Tracy. He's asking, what does everyone like best for bookkeeping, GoDaddy or something else? I'm planning to get GoDaddy. Like, I'm really bad with bookkeeping. Like, I'm just going to be fully transparent. Like, I'm going to probably have to, like, pray and hope that the Lord provides this tax for me because I'm, like, super unorganized. But
right.
I got all the receipts and all that junk, so I'm going to have my wife just come down and help me. But, yeah, I plan on starting to use GoDaddy going forward, though.
Right.
Right now, I'm not using anything.
I have a CPA. Basically, he sent me a form. I put all my information into it, and then he basically take care of my taxes for me. And I can just speak briefly on this. You know, I have talked about it a couple times in I think either my show or somebody else's show. Is that if you are reselling on Amazon, you definitely want to get your business in order and legitimize your business, because there are so many advantages to having a business account. When I say a business account, I'm talking about a business account with your bank. And you know, where they're basically like Wells Fargo, they pretty much keep up with all my transactions, because I try to keep everything that I purchase, I try to keep it within, you know, that business account. And at the end of the year, it's easier for my tax person to take that information and do my taxes. And I have, once this was revealed to me, because I was basically just shooting from the hip, going to a regular tax person and, you know, trying to get, you know, pay the least amount of money that I could have to pay back to the government. And that kind of failed because all tax people don't know how to do business taxes. And this person that I use, I mean, pretty much once they reveal all the things that I'm entitled to as a business person, I mean, it was a no-brainer. So if you are making pretty good money and you getting that 1099 from Amazon or eBay, you know, it will be beneficial to you to legitimize your business. And a lot of people, like, you know, think that, you know, because you get a business account and you legitimize your business, you get the IRS in your business. No, that ain't what that means. What that means is now when you decide to go on a family vacation, you can somehow write that stuff off onto your business. You know, when you go out to dinner, you can write that stuff off as a business dinner. You know, IRS ain't concerned about who was at the dinner with you. You know, so there's a lot of advantage as a person that's trying to legitimize your business, is to get all that stuff in order so that you can reap the benefits of being a business owner. I mean, you got to understand, some people look at this as a side hustle, but once you start making so much money, the system is going to dictate to you whether or not this is still a side hustle. If you're making $300-400 and, you know, every other month or whatever, okay, yeah, side hustle. But when you start getting to the thousands, the business is going to dictate to you that this is no longer a side hustle. So my advice to anybody that's listening, if you're making good money as a reseller, go to the bank that do business account, legitimize your business, find a good CPA that's not going to try to take you over the barrel, and get your business straight. You will be very happy at the end of the year when you see your return. That you're getting a return and you're not paying, these crazy amount of taxes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that plus you don't have to waste the time trying to do it. You can focus your time making more money, which chances are, if you're putting in that you're making, doing good, that time that you're doing your taxes, you pass it off to somebody else, you're making more money than what you would have been, regardless. And two, it's gonna be done by a professional who knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. You don't want the IRS coming after you. I've heard of people that had to deal with that, and man, they'll freeze your accounts. I mean, they'll shut you down all the way until they get their money. They don't care. They do not care. You could be making $100,000 a year and owe them $20,000 or whatever because you made a simple mistake, and they will shut you down, and then you're not making any money. Then if you're doing this full time, what are you going to do with no income, no money? Like, your account is frozen. So it is way better just having someone else do it. I mean, unless you've been doing it for years and know what you're doing, then of course, I mean, that's different. But you're better off paying somebody else, because I mean, that honestly, that amount that you're probably going to pay them is probably going to be very minimal compared to what you guys
will probably get more back in savings than you're actually putting back for their service.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I learned so much just watching the video that Justin, the Flippin Accountant, put out, just in regards to like different things to look out for from an e-com perspective. So I could just imagine somebody that really like knows e-commerce and business and stuff like that, like how many different things that like I'd actually be eligible to come off tax wise, save me money in the long run.
Do something else that you love and that you are best in, not something that you think you're good at, and then next you failed yourself, and then you're really hurting. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way I look at it. Do what you love. If you could do what you love and you're doing good enough where you could just pass it off. That's like with employees. If you can find someone that does something 75% of what you can do yourself, and you could do something else you enjoy and better your business, that's the same thing with taxes. Go have somebody else do that. You know what I mean? Like, unless you really have a degree or something, just trust me. Just trust me. You don't want to make that mistake.
Right. Especially if you're doing reselling and you are doing YouTube, I mean, that's enough. Let somebody else do that. I mean, for me, my guy ranged from $375 to $475. For what he do for me, I think I'm getting over. But at the same time, I'm happy with what he do. I'm glad that he charged me what he charged, because I have heard some people like, for what I pay for what I get, pay up to $1,000 to $1,500.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I'm getting from the services that I'm getting from my CPA.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
What's Max Gary said, I had the IRS audit me a few years ago. Felt like I was in elementary school going to the principal's office first time. No fun. Exactly. I mean, it is bad, man. It is bad. You don't want to see them people with them suits knocking at your door.
That's always my fear, is that I would screw something up so badly, just not know what I'm doing, that I'd like screw the business up and it would just like blow up. So that's the main reason I'm going to pay somebody to do it.
Yep. And they don't care about your excuses,
No, they don't. They want what's theirs, just like when they owe you money and you're waiting for that return. You want your money, they want their money, especially in what we're going through right now. Like, they want every penny because they've been giving out money. So
right,
that's true.
That's the one dark side of the business is taxes. But,
yep.
That's why I pass that along. You know what I mean? I pass it to somebody else that knows what they're doing. Because I mean, I do my personal taxes. I could do it, but like I was just saying, I'd rather go sourcing. Wouldn't you rather go sourcing? I know I'd rather go sourcing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd rather go make that money somewhere else and find the next 800 cases or lollipops like Buffalo. That's the best time, when you find something, when you find it in a huge amount and make all that money. So that's my thing. Every time I go to the store, that there's a chance of me swiping a shelf clean. Like, I get more joy in that than I don't even know. Like, that's probably one of the most You know, like things I love most about business right now is just swiping the shelf clean and leaving it and having all the crazy looks at me walking up to the register with,
Exactly.
with something, there's something someone probably uses once a month or something. Like, what? Why do you have that much?
I had purchased I think with 30 Mr. Coffee. They had dropped down to like $7 and something at Walmart. And this lady was like, everybody in your family drink coffee? I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, whoa, that's a lot of coffee. Like, yeah, you know, whatever, man. I mean, but you know, it's definitely you know, crazy how like when you do get, you know, to the register, how people looking at you, or they, you know, try to secretly investigate, you know, and interrogate, you know.
Yeah.
Why you need all that? Why don't you mind?
The funniest was, and this is one of my first big things I got for doing Amazon, and where I really seen the power of it. Right, so I go to Walmart and I fill my buggy up with light bulbs, like the it was like a 12-pack or something like that, and it was one of the big things that Shane Razagram Picker and Bearded Picker were talking about a year and a half ago. That's right when I started. So that was one of the first big things I got. So I found them. I filled my buggy up. I walked to the register, and everyone's looking at me like, "Why in the world do you have like like 100 light bulb?" I can't remember what it was, but it was something ridiculous. And they're looking at me. I'm like, I got a big building with a lot of lights. It goes, and everyone's just like, "Well, can I buy one?" I'm like, there are a couple back there with damaged boxes you can have.
That's right.
Yeah, dude, do you still have that video that I sent you that you were that you edited for that one video whenever you cleaned out all of that product, and that lady goes, "Oh, so that's where all of the," and then you cut to product went.
I have it on my laptop. I'll have to bring it on tomorrow.
I can tell you about a story when we was in Pittsburgh sourcing. And this lady seen Glass City Pickers loading up the truck with it was some type of little kid's toy. And the lady was like, "Did you leave any in there for somebody else to buy any?" And Glass City, one half of the Glass City, Tanya, said that no, but you can check Amazon in about 2 days. They'll be available. I thought that was so funny, man. That lady was like giving her the crazy look, like,
yeah,
you know. But yeah, it's crazy when you out there purchasing all this stuff, and you know how somebody made a comment said the same people asking questions are the ones that probably buying it from Amazon.
Yeah, probably, definitely, because I can't find them anymore.
Right.
That's crazy. Sonny says his house actually uses 35 light bulbs. Wow.
Whoa.
I mean, if you really think about it, I mean,
how many light bulbs I have in my house.
Yeah, I've never either, but I know that we go through a good bit too, because I think I kept a couple of them packs because they were so cheap that I got them. I kept a couple for personal just because. I think I have like half a pack left somewhere upstairs somewhere.
Nice.
So in the back of y'all backgrounds, those green screens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was one of the things that we
that's
felt
all
was better.
Okay.
We're both secretly in basements, but we think it's cooler when we're in studios.
Yeah, I like it. That's nice.
Nate's just laying on a pile of cash.
Mr. Burn.
This is why I bought with all my YouTube and Amazon money. Oh man. So how long have you been selling on Amazon and eBay? You said?
I'm right over 2.5 years right now.
2.5 years.
Yeah, my end game is to do this for part-time for probably about another 1.5 years, and then I'm gonna leave the federal government and go full-time.
Nice.
I mean, with the amount of money I'm making in part-time reseller, it's just a no-brainer for me to go full-time.
Will you be able to retire like with a government pension and everything at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already retired military, so I got a pension from the military, and that's why I have to stay with the federal government for at least another year and a half to be eligible to retire. So I would be 56, and I'll be leaving the federal government.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those jobs you definitely want to stay your full time and get.
Oh yeah,
right.
Can't leave that money on the table, man.
No, definitely not. I can understand that. I mean, that's one of the best things to have whenever you retire, especially a job through the government or the federal government. So,
right.
I mean, you're going to be in good hands. But I know with me personally, I think I'm making close. Like last year, I made close to what I made that I made working full time. So this year, with the big push of what happened with that recent purchase that I was making that money or whatever, I'm probably going to make more this year than I did last year. So it's really starting to become a deep thought of when I should pull the trigger. But
yeah, I mean, you just gotta, the way I look at it, man, is if you good at what you do and you committed to doing it. I mean, committed when, like I said in my video, you at the point where you can't fail at what you're doing, you can't afford to fail, then, why not? Why not go and do something you enjoy and double your money while you're doing it, because, I mean, it's just simple mathematics. If you're making $7,000 part-time, and you committed to what you're doing, and you can go full time, they're gonna give you more time to go out and find stuff. They're gonna give you more time to focus on your business. So that 7 may as well jump to 21. If you applying yourself. So I mean, to me, it's just a no-brainer. I'm just basically up against time right now. But if I wasn't up against time, I probably would have left this year.
Yeah,
definitely.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for me, it's more of just padding the cash flow, getting the cash flow right. Because with any business, that is the most important thing. You can find a bunch of an item and sell real quick, but now you got to wait for that money, especially now with eBay pushing for managed payments and a lot of people getting put onto that and everything. We're not making money instantly. Where say I know like the hottest product on eBay where I could sell 1,000 a day. Or on Amazon 1,000 a day. Like now I have to recoup my money and wait, that time frame for that to recoup. So I can't keep continually sourcing.
Right.
What I hope to do is literally do like what Scott the Bigger Picker does and go travel, fill up the van. Like I'm hopefully going to close on get a vehicle today where I'm able to really get pack a SUV full and do my thing. So that's what I want to try and do.
See that business model right there, you definitely got to be full time in order for that to work for you.
Exactly.
You can't do that part time because you're not going to be consistent. But as a full time, you can plan that into your schedule, and make it happen. For me, when I first started out with this business, because I really didn't per se need the money, I was able to keep rolling that money over, when I first started. So it's like I started out with a little snowball and now it's a boulder. So my thing is, when I'm able to go full time, it's like it ain't something that I just woke up one morning and said that I'm gonna go full time. I've been planning this for almost 3 years,
Yeah.
So when I get to that end point, that'll probably be around 4 years and a half or 4 years of planning to get to that point. I'm not telling nobody watching and listening to this show to wake up next week and decide you're not going to go to your job because Buffalo said that it's just simple mathematics. I can, if I'm making 5,000, I leave my job, I can turn that 5 to 10. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is get you a plan and try to see it through.
Definitely. Yeah. It's, in business, you have to have a plan. If not, then your whole setup will just crumble. You got to be, you have to have everything kind of like in play or understand what all is involved, especially in something like what I would do. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to do that where I'm making say I'm taking a 3 or 4 day trip at a time, then I'm home for 3 days, or something like that. There's a lot of pieces that would need to move, and for me to do that and be set up. So, I mean, that's not what I would do right off the bat, but that's my goal, is to basically find a product, maybe local, and then basically go hunt. Basically I'm a shark in the water. I'm swimming around trying to find whatever's left, and I'm just going to eat it all up. I mean, that's literally, I don't, even if it's one product that I'm getting 20 or 50 at a store, I'm going to fill my vehicle chock full of this thing and send them all in if possible. So yeah, I'm excited to hopefully one day do that.
All you got to do is write it down and see it through, man. That's all you got.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
definitely. I see D has a question. She says, "What does Buffer Picker sell on eBay? Any thrifting, yard sales?"
If you go into my eBay store, which is Glow 7, and it's GLO, the number 7, EVEN. Most of the things that I have there is items that I couldn't sell at Amazon, or it's items that I have gotten from mostly estate sale. Here where I live at, I mean, you can have 30 estate sales per weekend. It's just a matter of which ones you want to or have time to get to. Because I'm a predominantly Amazon seller, most of my time is dealt with RA and OA and some liquidations if the product, is something that I can sell on Amazon. But I do find time, because my wife, she loves estate sales. I do find time to get out to those estate sales and then find some deals. I have made some good money from estate sales. I mean, it's items that, I go in on a Sunday, people been passing by it all week, and it's still sitting there on a Sunday, and I get it for 50 to 75% off. Or I've been in a place where the lady would, some ladies would be like, well, if you buy this, you can take all of that, and I'd be like, for free? Yeah, you can't beat free, so but mostly I go to more estate sales because the availability than I do yard sales.
Yeah, I think if I had the choice of one or the other, like garage sales or estate sales, I think estate sales, depending on the estate company that's running it.
Yeah,
a lot of profitability, because in ours, forget about it. I went to one last year and I seen like a Snoopy Peanuts cookie jar, which probably goes for upwards, maybe at max, say $80, just to say. So I went there or whatever, and I see the price tag, and I actually did a video on this. I think it was like $90, and I'm like, is this eBay? Like, what? Like, we're in some small little town. We're not like in Pittsburgh or like in the big city. So not a lot of people are going to be coming. So, but they have stuff priced to the roof.
Yeah.
So I talked to the guy, because I usually, he does a lot of the estate sales in our area, and I asked him, I says, "What's going on?" He goes, "Well, Saturdays are for collectors, and Sundays are for the rest of the resellers or whatever." And I'm like, so I said, so basically, what you're saying is during football season, I'm not going to be able to see you, is what you're saying,
right?
Because I'm not going to go on a Saturday. Right. Because of the insane prices. Like, they literally look up everything on eBay or Amazon and price it out.
Yeah.
And then Sunday they'll do the 50% or whatever. But even at 50%, I'm still not buying that for $50. So I told him, I says, I guess I won't be here for NFL season, because Sunday is like my is my day to sit and watch the Steelers destroy anybody, especially this year. So they'll be.
I have a estate company here in my local area. They'll call me like I said 3 days before the estate sale start, because they're in the prepping phase to set it up and price everything. And I just have, I just had to, have a chance to see how it all worked, because once they called me in, they actually, pricing everything. So it's like, she know I like to buy Barbies. So she basically, if she got a house that they got Barbies, we already have a set price. So I just come in. If I like the condition, I give her, what the cost is, and I take all the Barbies. This before everybody else can get a chance to come to the house. So while I'm there, I see everybody with a phone looking up, what they're selling for on eBay. Then it's like certain items, like she know I do toys. She's like, well, we can't find this on eBay. What do you think it should go for? I'm like, that ain't how it should be working, man. I mean, these families are trusting you to be the experts to come in here, tag this stuff, and get them whatever they can make off the stuff. And plus, not only that, they're in there, scoping things out on what they're gonna take.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Like, man, this ain't how
that's happened a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely not how it's supposed to work.
Because the company that does our estate sales, they have a setup location in an old antique mall or an old like shopping plaza or whatever. So they actually own that building or whatever. And I think that's what happens to a lot of the estate sales in our area. They'll overprice stuff on purpose so it doesn't sell, so they could take it there and then they can make full big money like we would online.
Right.
So I think more or less they do that on purpose, just to help their bottom line for whatever fees they charge on the other stuff or the money they made on the other stuff, and whatever fees they did to run it or whatever. Yeah,
so the thing is, and I know a company here that do it, and anytime I see their name pop up, I don't even waste my time to go to a estate sale. But the lady that owned the company, she have a building that she sell out of, and the thing is she keeping all the prices high, so people like us don't buy it, the reseller, and then they getting it for pennies on a dollar from the family. So they pretty much already done worked out the deal, the closing deal with the family. Like everything else left, this is what we'll pay you for it and clean out the house. So they already got the deal going before we even get a chance to come to the house. So like you say on that Snoopy cookie jar, you seen it listed at $90. I mean, it's no profit margin there for you. And they know that. They know you're going to walk away from it. So when you walk away from it, they get a family $1, $2 for it.
Right, exactly. They're making hand over fist huge money.
By
just having the deal. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's almost made me give up on estate sales as a whole for our area, unless maybe I go towards the Pittsburgh area and get out of his like range, because he definitely does like my main area, like my local area.
Right.
And it's one of the only places I guess does it. Now there is some families that do their own, and those ones I've scored big on and done very well on, because a lot of them just don't know pricing on some different things, or look at things that are old and be like, this is just some stuff my aunt went crazy with buying or whatever, and here it is. So I just have to be more look for good information and maybe try to network a little bit better with people too, because like you said, you got that kind of locked in with the Barbies, and that's awesome, because now okay, they're there. I just have to show up and pay, and unless they're literally trashed, condition, I know I'm going to get guaranteed X amount of these Barbies, or at least something for your time. So that's definitely a huge plus.
I mean, anytime I go out to those places, and I know the company is on the up and up for as the pricing and trying to work a deal with you, just basically got that resale lingo going with you, I always get them a business card and take one of their business cards and let them know that, hey, if you got anything you want to move, this is what I'm interested in. Give me a call. If you have anything left over after the sale and you really want to move it, and you want to, sell it at a decent price where, it's enough meat on the bone, give me a call. And I do that with all of them if they on the up and up. Now, if I go to in a building, I'm in a house, and I already can tell from the get-go that they shady.
Yep.
I only spend no time there, man. I'll do a quick walkthrough and go.
Yep. Definitely.
Yep. Want to say what's up to Glass City Pickers. Appreciate you guys being here. Big shout out to fellow Steeler fans.
Definitely.
Yeah, they'll be on the show tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to be able to chat with them guys.
Fully dressed.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So is there obviously we have the show tomorrow night on your channel. Is there anything else that you can think of coming up on your channel that you'd like to promote?
Well, you know, last night I was jumping around shows, and one show I hit was Bearded Picker. They was doing a auction, and that's something that myself and Glass City Pickers that we talked about, because I have a lot of stuff. I have stuff that, you know, I like a couple of dev piles that I have started working into. Yeah. But most of that stuff is from estate sales, and I will eventually, you know, like to put up one of my shows where I can do an auction, or, you know, link up with people already doing it. Like, I know you all are doing it, and y'all got a pretty good system. And I've been watching, you know, I watch y'all system, I watch Bearded Picker them system, and there's a couple other shows I watch their system. But you all, between the 4 shows that I watch, I think you all and Bearded Picker pretty much y'all auctions kind of mirror each other a little bit, even though I think, you know, and I'm not going to say, I just think that one show have better stuff to offer than the other show for the items that you're trying to let go. That's one thing I want to maybe get to with my show, or collaborate with somebody else to be able to have another avenue to move some things. But for as my show, only thing I want to do, like on my shows, is just promote information to help the reseller. That's how I started, and basically that's how I want to finish it. You know, it's just talk about things that resellers go through on a weekly basis, or basically like we did in this show, try to get information out to the resellers that would help them, you know, to grow their business.
For sure. Absolutely. If there's anything we can do to help you out with that, whether we help you set up an auction or whether we have you come onto one of ours,
right,
we'd love to be there to help support you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anything you guys need?
We're always looking for people to hop in with us that have good stuff, and because the main thing we want to make sure we got good, always have great stuff. Like, that's our our thing. Like, we want to make sure, you know, like I had GI Joes and those WWE figures last time. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have some stuff like that this week. Some different things that are pretty high in popularity. So that's the main thing. Just making sure you got good stuff. The people come and grow for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna stay on the fence a little while. You know, keep observing, and then when I'm ready, I definitely reach out to you all. You know, basically let you know what I have, and is it, you know, if it even worth it, and then, you know, try to go from there.
For sure.
Sounds good, man. Just let us know. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I definitely want to remind everyone that tonight at 6 p.m. we will be doing that wholesale bulk auction on Nate's channel. So definitely set a reminder for that. Nate, if you want to drop a link to that in the chat, that way they can set reminders, that'd be awesome. We got some good stuff coming tonight, guys. Nate's got some more vintage toys. I've got some really good reseller lots too. So I know that West Max Gary's got some pretty nice stuff. And who else is coming on with us, Nate?
Lobster and Bill Stoner.
Bill Stoner, that's it.
Bill Stoner got tons of stuff, man. He has the mega death piles of just vintage awesome stuff. Like, literally, like you'll watch him in the back of the video, like he'll be on a live, and you'll look and be like, is that a Sega Dreamcast back there? Is that a and it's just all amazing stuff that he has piled up behind him. So I'm really interested and really excited to see what he brings, and of course everyone else as well. But You know what I mean? Like it's going to be good, guys. Definitely.
Yeah.
Before we are we closing?
Shortly, yeah. But if you want to,
I just want to make sure I got to plug the show before we left. In my show, basically, just to tell everybody that I have a weekly Friday night show at 7:30. I always try to have 2 guests on my show, and this Friday I'm gonna have Nate and Anthony on my show. We're gonna basically do a Steeler Nation theme. So hopefully everybody on the panel will be dressed down in Steelers gear, and hopefully we put out some good information, and I want everybody to come out and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And Nate just shared a link to the show tomorrow. If you guys could go set a reminder there, and if you're not already, please consider subscribing to Tommy. I'd really appreciate it. Puts out great information, and his show is awesome. So I've definitely been watching him.
Definitely full knowledge. Absolutely. It's nice to talk with somebody with a similar Amazon thing, because there is a lot of eBay in the community. So it is nice to talk to somebody that kind of has the same similar business model that I do. So
Amazon is like flower pheromones to Nate. Like he gets all excited. It's like a bromance. It's just
I want to throw this out there too, man. Is that I get a lot of I got a lot of, when I was sitting on the fence before I became a reseller, I got a lot of my knowledge from Reezy Resales and Rise and Grind Picker. Those guys right there, I started out with Reezy Resale, and eventually I ran across one of Shane's videos, and I mean, it just, the stuff that he was putting out was, I mean, it's just like he was talking to me, and when I started incorporating those things, I pretty much took his blueprint and kind of formulated it into a way that I could work with it. So I definitely want to, give credit to those folks, because they really the ones that I sat and watched for a while when I was contemplating on becoming a reseller. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, between Bearded Picker, Shane, and Sue, they were chock full of knowledge with Amazon, and that's what really made me even know about it. I didn't even know you could sell on Amazon.
Yeah,
it was like, what? And then next you know, I'm looking at prices and comping my items that I have brand new in the box versus what I'm trying to sell it on eBay, and it was all more money, and they were flying out the door, and I'm like, I got to get on there. So you literally the day after, like New Year's Day, I think right around that time, around my birthday. My birthday is on January 23rd. I signed up for Amazon, and I mean, it's been a blessing as a adding to my business model, because I can still work full time and do that, and also do eBay, which, if you guys know me, I sleep 4 hours a day basically, because I try to get it all squished together. So, like yesterday I slept 3, so I went to bed early last night, so made sure to have some juice for the show, because I knew there was going to be some Amazon topics today.
For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on the show as well.
You're welcome anytime, Tommy. Seriously, anything that we can do for you, just feel free to reach out anytime.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, thank you so much for coming out and supporting all 3 of us. We definitely appreciate it. And if you would, make sure you go and subscribe to Tommy, and come see me and Nate over there tomorrow night.